Frequency chart, parenting skills for the real world. This is also called a tally chart. Remember, just a gentle reminder, approach this in a positive mindset. It does help show progress, even if it's slow. Let's look at the frequency chart, shall we? Again, easy to see why someone might call it a tally chart, because there's tally marks. There's two examples that we're going to go over real quick, just really easy. The one thing that I don't have on here, that if you would like to add, is a little note that you can put for yourself that for each tally mark represents how many minutes. I usually do 5 minutes, and it does help a little bit if you already kind of know about how long they last. Sometimes you'll do an ABC chart to kind of get the idea of how long your child that you're observing typically does have a behavior, and then you can kind of already have an idea of the frequency to use. But again, you may just have to fill in each little time that you do a frequency tally mark that it lasted for so many minutes. It just depends on you. As long as you write it down and you can go back and figure it out later, it helps. A lot of times it helps to write down more, and you can always figure out what you can start streamlining. So, each time a behavior starts and stops in an observable manner, like they hit, kick, and then it's no longer happening, that's one tally mark. So, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Wednesday, there was 2 incidents of hitting, kicking, hair pulling, slapping. It's all kind of grouped together. This would be done if you usually see all this happening at one time for the child's behavior. And a frequency chart is usually used when you see it so often in the beginning that it would be very difficult to constantly be filling out an ABC chart, even if you are just observing one child. As a teacher, a lot of times we don't just have one child that we are observing or taking data on. So frequency charts help a lot. So again, if you look at this, you'll notice from 5 to 8 p.m. frequencies are higher for this particular child. And look at the dates. It was summer when I made these, so maybe it's year-round school for whoever's doing this. We're not sure. And the second example is yelling, screaming, raised voice. So again, you have a behavior that you have defined exactly how it is, and you can note right here, one tally mark represents 5 minutes or less. So, and you can also write in something, you don't have to have actual time frames. It's before school, transition to school, at school, pick up school, after school, dinner time, and transition to bed. That's specific to your schedule in general, the things that you usually see each day, especially if you see some sort of behavior that's occurring with them. And like I said, on Monday, there is a call from school, as well as they told you that 3 times that they had an occurrence of this behavior happening. So I think it's time for a little bit of a brain break. Again, try and approach this in a positive manner. I know we're focusing on negative behaviors and it gets overwhelming. So let's look at some beautiful cars. Nice old Porsche. Ooh, I love the color for this one. Very nice.